strong.
Hey, how are you?
I don't know, Rhayne.
I sent you screenshots and it said the host was waiting, and then it sent me a message saying you were in another meeting. So I was like, oh, maybe it ran over with the last guest. So I was just sitting there waiting.
That's really crazy.
I didn't realize there was a waiting room.
Let me welcome you to Funny Minds Duck, and I am your host, Lynn, and my co-host,
Edward Biss. How are you?
and I am so excited to have you on. This woman is absolutely incredible. She's a touring musician. She's an actor. She's an author. She's a humorist. Well, you're an inspirational humorist, a breast cancer survivor, and prunes are sexy. That's it for me. That was it for me. When I saw prunes are sexy, I'm like, that's the best thing anybody could ever say. This is like really crazy.
It's honestly the first time I've ever heard it.
Yeah, me too.
So it has to be true.
It has to be. And you'll see it on your calendars pretty soon. So,
Okay. All right. I know when I was younger, my mother used to make us eat prunes. There was 3 prunes in a bowl.
mhm.
And so I couldn't stand them. So I would get the first one down. I'm sorry. I could get the first one down, and then I put the other 2 in my mouth. They'd believe I had to go to the bathroom. I'd spit them out, flush them. I don't know. I could never acquire a taste for them.
My heart broken.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your heart, but I'm sorry.
Rhayne, you gotta feel for her. That's all.
I feel for most people who give me that same line.
She'll come around. She'll come around.
So
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, really.
for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. And so tell us, what you're doing. What I know you're involved with a lot of organizations. You're raising money for breast cancer, which is absolutely wonderful. It's one of the organizations that we support also. And you walked the runway during Fashion Week. How exciting. So tell us about it. Tell us about the people you met and what you did.
Well, it shows how small the world is, especially now with social media, because I have been volunteering as a spokesperson and fundraiser for cancer and breast cancer since 1976. So I started that before it was a Pinteresty thing to do. You meet all these different people. I do shoestring organizations because I want people to see where their money goes and who it goes to, not
Right.
yacht and, the company. You don't know the person on top. We physically, wherever I do it, we physically give the check to the survivor, the survivor's family, the oncology department, depends. But everybody can see where it goes. There are no middle people in there.
Totally transparent.
Right, completely transparent. And a few years back, I ran into a woman that I don't remember exactly how, but she was a force, and she still is. She is a metastatic breast cancer survivor, Dana Donofree. And she's like, we're doing New York Fashion Week for my line, Anna Ono, which she had created a line for women who are going through the treatment because, your skin opens up. It's really, really sensitive. And she went to other countries and got all these beautiful fabrics and started this intimate wear line. And she's like, would you like to be in the fashion show in New York? I'm like, well, I'm in New York. I'm not going to miss that. I lived out here.
Really?
So Dana and I went out there and I did the runway the first time. I think that was 2018. And then 2019, they did only metastatic women. And I'm not metastatic, thank God. But she asked me if I would sing and to open the show for the runway. So I did that with her. And, then you meet other people and you talk more about it. And before you know it, you're doing these little shoestring organizations. And I try to teach people the power of a penny because a lot of people say, well, I don't have millions of dollars to donate. What's my $5 going to do? And I'm like, you have to understand, it's not just breast cancer. You're giving money for research. you have people who can't afford $2 parking every day. Breast cancer is expensive. They may not be able to afford toys for their children. I've had women, ask them, I know they're vetted, they don't even know me. I said, what could you use? I would really like a warm hat and a pair of socks. And
Wow.
think of those things.
Yes.
And so, I have friends, and when I call them, they're like, how much do you need? What do you need? Come get it out of my store. And I put together mystery boxes and mail it out to lots of different survivors that most of them probably don't know me.
That's amazing.
That is an amazing
That's absolutely
thing.
amazing.
Really. And that's why you're so inspirational, and people want to talk to you and meet you and be with you. And
I hope so.
I understand you hail from the Bronx.
Born and raised Bronx girl.
The Bronx.
The Bronx, like the Bears. The
The
Bronx.
Hey, Rhayne, listen, I grew up a massive Yankees fan. So I spent a lot of time in those Bronx. And I lived in New York City for some years. I lived in Brooklyn, Manhattan. I know it well. And there was a day way back when where you could go and take the train to the Bronx and go scalp a Yankee ticket for like $15.
Yeah. If you were lucky, scalp too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that tell me, do you come from New York? And I'll say, no. You sound like a New Yorker. I said, yeah, I sound like a New Yorker. But I'm New Jersey, New York.
Yeah. Okay. I still like both of you, Brooklyn and New Jersey.
New Jersey. So now,
33rd Street.
Rhayne, you're out in Vegas now, huh?
I am. I've been to a lot of places before we got here, but that's where I am now.
And you're a blues singer.
Yes, that's actually my forte. That's what I actually do. But over the years, when you talk to people and you go out and you talk about, breast cancer, people don't know you sing. And so, that was fine. But with social media, people say, how come I didn't know you could sing? Or how come I didn't know you wrote books? So now it's all kind of coming full circle.
So you're doing a lot of touring, doing your music. Do you write any music? You have people write for you?
No, I'm a covers girl. I'm truly a blues girl, old school covers, get up there.
Okay.
Tell stories. And, the goal has always been to inspire people, whatever they're going through. Because, the blues has some funny stories. It has some sad, it has some tragic stories. And it has some inspirational stories, things that you probably should and should not be doing. Right. And that's what I hope to get. But between the songs, I like to talk to people in the audience. It's intimate to me. So I'll say, is there a song you want to hear? Or do you know any songs? Or what are you going through right now? Maybe we can pull a song. So that's usually the way I like to do it. I was blessed this past Sunday to be invited to sing 2 songs at the celebration of life for Frank Sinatra's oldest friend.
No.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. And it was
I'm not worthy.
Yeah,
I'm not worthy.
I used to tour with Pete Seeger and Creedence Clearwater. Now
you talking about CCR? Get out of here. That's incredible. That is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know what's going to pop up, and you never know who's going to find you and why.
Right.
So that's why I just keep doing it, because you just never know. You could be changing someone, and you may never know that you've changed that life.
And the more you put yourself out there, the more people see you, and the better chance you have of people asking you to do things for them.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, so now you're not worthy. I'm going to go down here. Last week, I was on Let's Make a Deal.
No. No. Are you kidding?
Win anything?
I can't talk about this show. It has to air next year.
Oh,
But
no
I
way.
can tell you I was a gigantic chicken.
All right.
That's awesome. That show
You wear
is
costumes
a
on the show.
classic. I mean, they just don't make shows like that anymore.
No.
And haven't for a long time. And
Right.
as you're growing up in that era and watching all these great game shows, you always sat back and said, "Man, I would love to be on that show one day." They're just having a blast.
But they're bringing some of them back. It was a shame what happened with God, what's his name?
Bob Barker.
No.
Alex Trebek.
The one whose producer was shot.
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't know who that was.
From New York. He was on the. He had a game show. Oh God, I feel like I'm losing my mind. He's got 20 million kids. Lives in New York.
How many? 20 million kids?
Yeah, his wife has like 9 kids. Him and his wife.
Okay, I need
to figure out who that is. And
you're gonna Google it.
Yeah, I don't know
really.
That is.
Oh God, he's got all the brothers, the Irishmen. Oh my God! Why can't I think?
Yes, and they all are in television shows. They're all actors.
Yes.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Yes.
I knew we'd get there.
You're talking about Alec brought back. Oh God, what was that show?
I don't know.
It was hysterical.
What was Alec Baldwin on? What was that show that Alec Baldwin did? The game show.
Match?
Was it Match Game?
The Match Game?
Was it Match Game?
Oh, but they would
Match Game, yes.
Half of them were drunk, and the things that they would come out with, it was so funny.
We're drunk.
Funny, yeah. At the time they were drunk.
It was actually a really good show.
It was funny. So it is fun. It is a lot of fun. Do you know when your show is going to air?
Not yet. I do know it's 2024. So
okay.
Yeah, it'll be season 15. And it was crazy. I just sent you a picture, Lynn, too, so you can see the big chicken and you can share it. But it was crazy, and it was in California, and it was super fun, and yeah, it was crazy.
Now, did you go like all out, Rhayne, and like lay an egg?
First of all,
because I know deep down you wanted to, just to freak people out.
I did. I wanted to take an egg, but the chicken soup was so hard to master because it was huge, and I couldn't see it on my feet, and I couldn't see the steps, and I was like, "Oh, this is too much navigate." I even made my top so I'd look like a chicken. I mean, it was.
Oh my God, this is so funny.
I went so.
I don't know if anybody can see. Oh wait, can you see it?
Got some glare.
Yeah, that's
glare going.
The background up.
Yeah.
We'll post it up.
When you see it.
We'll post it on the site.
Yeah, post it on the site. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't see because of the glare.
No.
I'm gonna post it on the site. You are hysterical. That's how you had to go out there. Oh my God.
Oh, it's
that
fun.
Is so funny. But that's good. But you do a lot of things for a lot of people, and you're a very big inspiration for a lot of people. But there's one thing that you said about, what you see on the outside. You should never judge a person because you don't know what's on the inside.
That came from the prunes.
And that's very, very true. Yes, with your prunes that are so sexy.
Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my blood, too sexy for my skin.
I tell people, I'm like, prunes making you run for cancer. And it stays in people's minds. That's what it was for. Because people say, oh, prunes, like some other people we know. And I say, we judge a lot of things from the outside when the goodness is on the inside. And a lot of times we miss that in people and situations.
Right.
Because we're already prejudged before seeing what happens next. And I'm curious. I'm an experienced junkie. I love collecting people and seeing what they can and how can we help. And, my husband's the total opposite. None of that applies to him.
But that's great.
Wow. We share like almost identical lives.
I know, really. Like,
I'm out there just like you, and my wife could give it.
Yeah, at all.
Oh, me too. I'll talk to anybody, anywhere. No matter where I go, I always find something to say to somebody. Always start a conversation with somebody. I'm not being nosy. I just love people. I love talking to people. And
is that why you dyed your hair prune color?
My hair is
was for Rhayne today.
Purple.
Prunes are purple.
Well, are they really? I have a
prune head.
Prune since I was like 4 years old. So
I'm gonna mail you one if it's good enough. The folks at Mayberry Days, I do the Andy Griffith off every year. It's good enough for you.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what, Raina? I'm gonna try a prune just for you.
Please do, and take a picture and send it to me.
And I will. I'm going to send the picture to you of me eating a prune. Of course, I won't send you the picture of me running to the bathroom.
Well, you'll have to have like a lot to do that.
That's a TikTok video that'll go viral.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I'll put that on my other channel now.
So do I pronounce your name Rhayne or Rhayne?
Rhayne, like the weather.
Right, that's what I was saying. Okay. I love that. I love the way it's spelled too. We share a lot in common as far as music and touring and performing. And I just want to share a quick story with you because I think this will give you a good laugh, but yet at the same time identifies with what you've done. I performed once and I was in a big tribute show called Best of British, and we did like 5 different tributes. One of them was Queen, multiple bands, 2-hour shows, the whole big production. And I was asked to perform at a nudist colony, a nudist resort in Florida for a breast cancer weekend concert series that they put on. So I was performing in northern Florida, and on the way back, I had to stop there and do a show, and it was eye-opening in many, many respects.
Yeah.
But the real meat of the matter was, they put on a full weekend of all the best top tributes probably in the country to raise awareness and money for breast cancer. And, everybody bought weekend passes and they really spent a lot of money to get us in there. And it was very eye-opening. Not obviously once you wrap your head around the fact that you're at a nudist resort, which is really not that big of a deal. But the fact that they went that far to spend that money and bring these acts in to really raise awareness and raise money. And it was just an insane, awesome experience.
Bravo.
And I've been blessed to do that throughout the years with music, for different, Shriners Children's Hospital, autism. I mean, I've done benefits for everybody and anybody. So that's where you are seriously blessed when you could get out there and do what you do and yet still reach people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And music is a great way to do it too.
Big time. Number one.
There's a lot of bands that will give up their time to raise money for a lot of different situations and a lot of organizations. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. But I remember when you had to do that, Eddie.
Yeah. A couple things you can't see, but
Yeah, there's something you can't unsee, but it was all for the benefit.
Right.
It was the
adults.
benefit.
It was really the seriousness of the matter.
Right.
Right. But tell us about your writing, Rhayne.
Oh, it's I did 5 books, and it's just for fun. It was
just 5? Not.
Yeah, but
I haven't made 100 yet, Eddie, but I've only done 5.
No, they were fun, and they had funny titles so that I wanted people to understand. I come from a not so great place, and I wanted people to be able to laugh about it in their own. See, because a lot of those inspirational books they bring more shame to you. You feel like they're talking about you, and then it says pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It's always like if you haven't, it's your fault. So I started writing funny stories, things like I'm 40, I'm feisty, and there's a gray hair in my what? And other surprises and song in the wind, really is all these funny titles. And people would have me come out and speak to medical facilities for cancer patients. And then a college in Canada called me. They wanted me to come out and read Gracieisms. Now, my family's from the South. And so I came up with like 400 of these isms that my Southern family would say that made no sense because I'm from New York City. And my mom would say these things. And they wanted to hear more about it. And then another college in the South bought books. They're like, oh, this is like a lost art. And, women going through menopause and their husbands not understanding. So then they, said, we want to hear about Song in the Wind. And then, there's the yard sale one, garage sale. So they were just fun, and they have fun covers that my best friend worked on for me because she does a lot of that kind of stuff. And, it's just fun stuff. I want people to understand, because you come from a bad place, it's okay to not be ashamed of yourself. You carry that, and it's hard to be who you are, because that's the way people will see you. You are not your background. You are not your shame. And so that's why I did those. They're like reading a day, reading a couple hours, just I used to carry them with me and give them to people on the plane. And then people would, email me and say, oh my God, that's hilarious. That's so funny. So that was what it was for.
That's great, though.
Those
That's great.
I got to do. This is one of my favorite stories. I'll try to keep it super short. But
don't worry about it.
Lawrence Welk is one of my favorite entertainers ever since I was a kid. Well, always. And a few years ago, I hosted a breast cancer event on the Napa wine train. They provided everything. It was fabulous.
So
yeah, it
beautiful
was
out there.
like 5 cities in 5 days. It was crazy. And so as people were getting off, and of course they were really drunk, and one lady stopped. She's like, you were so much fun. She's like, do you mind if I call you? I have an event coming up. I'm like, yeah. Everybody's drunk. So about 2 days later, this woman emailed me, and she was the head of something in timeshare. And they were taking the top 10% of people who excelled in timeshare that year on a cruise. And she said, we will pay for you and your husband everything if you come and read out of your books. I said, well, yeah, that would be fun. So we go, oh yeah, it was beautiful. So
I would say, like, how about once a month? We do this once a month.
We should. Absolutely. So I get up there to read. And of course, my husband's there. And, there are probably 75 people in this private room. And I started reading. And I have never, ever read about Lawrence Welk out of one of my books, because most people either don't know who that is or they don't get it.
Right.
Things like, read that part about Lawrence Welk. And I was like, okay. So I started reading about Lawrence Welk. And this woman in the front made this sound like, huh. And I looked at her and I was like, see, this is exactly why I don't talk about Lawrence Welk. So the facilitator, as I continue to read, he comes up, his name is Brian. He starts laughing. He goes, Rhayne, I know you heard Ann laugh. And he said, there's a reason for that. And I said, really? And I looked at Ann. He says, she's the vice president at Welk Resorts.
Man.
And so she called me after, we got to know each other on the cruise. And then she called me to Welk Resorts. They ordered a ton of books for all the employees, so that they not only could read my chapter about Lawrence Welk, but could be inspired by his life. So they had me come out and do a couple of different sessions for the employees, and it was a blast. And Anne took me to lunch with the VPs and the CEOs. So we're standing there, and this guy comes walking up, and I kind of look, and he's smiling. And I said, aren't you Lawrence Welk's grandson, Jonathan? He said, I am. I said, what are you doing here? He said, when they told me that this woman from the Bronx was in love with my great-grandpa, I had to see who this was.
Oh, gee.
That's incredible.
The incredible part is he gifted me with the original Lawrence Welk Villa key. There was only one.
No.
And I had
No.
That's right. Yes, that's my best.
Oh my God.
That's incredible. Yeah, right.
I'm not worthy, Ray.
No, you're worthy.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
What an awesome story.
Yeah, that's a great story for sure.
Because obviously Lawrence Welk, you assume everybody knows who Lawrence Welk is, but
Yeah,
I'm 55 years old. I know who he is.
I know who he is.
My wife is 12 years younger than me. She doesn't know who Lawrence Welk is. So
exactly.
There's an appreciation there. That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah,
that is
really
incredible.
And what about your acting? You're an actor. What type of an actor are you? What have you acted in?
I'm in lots of movies and films and commercials, and
really,
we do live stuff for them. Because I, trained on a teleprompter when I was like 4th grade. It comes in handy now.
Yeah.
Because of social media, people see you do something.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, well, she must be an actor. Would you like to come do the jingle? Or do you want to do a commercial? Or would you like a role in this? Or we have live theater. Do you want to play this role, that role? Because they haven't put it together that I'm not an actor, that I'm a musician, but they're like, oh, you're an actor who sings. Okay, sure. If I'm getting a role and a check, I'm an actor.
You're an actor.
I'm a whatever
they want you to be, that's what you're going to be.
Whatever.
I'm the pilot. I'm the stewardess.
I am. I'm the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
And
do you remember, Ray? Do you remember that skit from Living Color with Damon Wayans? With these, you lazy coconut.
Yes.
Bad night, child, man.
That's who I am. I need 12 dogs, man. You only got 10.
I was the pilot, the steward. I mean, that was brilliant stuff.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Hey, listen, if you can get out there and you can perform, then you can perform. It doesn't really matter what genre, if it's comedy or music or acting.
Right. I
it's just
get a lot
part of your makeup.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, when Homer Hickam asked me to play his mom, Homer Hickam, October Sky, and I said, I said to him and his wife, I said, wait a minute, that's a real person. I'm not sure I could pull that off. I said, let me pray on it and get back to you. So I said, God, if you want me to play Homer Hickam's mom, because that's a big deal. People know who NASA, not dude is. And so it's just kind of like Googling one day, and his mom picture comes up and his other stuff. And so I called him. I said, hey, homie. He's like, hey, Ray. And I said, is Linda there? And they got on the phone. I said, Homer, when was your mom's birthday? And he said it was June 15th and whatever the year was. And I said, are you sure? So he gets Linda on and she goes, yes, honey, it was June 15th. Why? I said, because my birthday is June 15th.
Well,
I said, but God, that's not a good enough.
Really? I mean,
a little bit more
sign. That was a sign right there. Yeah, right there.
That was not working.
You should have ran out to 7-Eleven and got a lottery ticket like a
We don't have lottery in Vegas, so I wouldn't been able to run out.
That's right, Vegas. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Just go
you take $100. Well, you do what my mother does, which she goes to the Hard Rock when she comes to Tampa by me, and she plays Wheel of Fortune slots, and like clockwork, she wins over $1,000 every time.
I don't gamble because I like to keep the money I have. I can see how it gets. You can get up.
People get put up very bad.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah, my life is a gamble enough for me without me having to go down there and put odds in.
It's easy to go down a rabbit hole when it comes to gambling. I typically love sports, so I'll pick like a football game, low end $25, like nothing devastating. It's just more for the fun of it. But I could see.
I feel too. I go to the casino twice a year. I like to go and have fun. So I have to knock wood that. Yeah, I haven't been a loser yet, but someday my chips will have to fall in. But that's okay because I don't spend that much. I'm winning $1,000 and maybe I only spent $20. So I'm making $980. So as long as I'm beating the house, I'm a happy person.
Well, it's really Rhayne. It's the hair. She's got lucky purple hair.
That's what it is.
Well, I see people like constantly running to the ATM machine. And I'm like, wow, like
Goes real quick.
Yeah. And now,
Unfortunately, I don't have like P. Diddy on my speed dial.
yeah.
I hit him up for a loan or something. I just don't. He lost my number somehow.
And put that monkey on your back.
No.
He could just buy a casino. He doesn't have to gamble.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
That's awesome. So let's talk about some music, because that's my thing.
Okay.
Blues. I love the blues. Chicago blues. Is that along the lines of your forte, or are you just a little across the board, however you feel?
The word. Yeah, and also feel. It depends on the venue. It depends on what. Someone says, well, we just want to do blues, because most people say, we want you to do Etta James at last. She has a catalog of a lot of songs, and that's the important, So then, you can kind of give them some lessons in that. Or if it's just an intimate night of blues, sometimes it might not be blues songs. I used to tour when I lived in Virginia with blues guys and Rhayne. And we would connect blues songs to pop songs and opera.
That's cool.
And people, they were like, I think I've heard those songs before. I just don't know where. So, connecting something by Chicago blues and Sheryl Crow and
but that's fantastic.
Janis Joplin. She was my favorite, Janis Joplin. I mean, she was incredible.
Musicians.
Yes.
That's great. That's really good. Now, you say Virginia. You talking about the Roanoke area?
No, I'm talking about the Richmond area. My husband's from Virginia.
Okay.
I've toured up that way and played up in Roanoke a bunch of times.
Okay.
There's a place there called Dr. Pepper Park.
Yep.
Have you heard of it?
I have.
Been up there a bunch of times.
Good
people. That's kind of the cool. You kidding me?
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I'm dead serious.
Absolutely.
I'll be there.
I play and sing. We could tear it up. I love the blues.
Yeah.
And I've had like you, the good fortune of getting out there and traveling the world and seeing it and meeting the people. And that's where I look at you and I know the impact that you have when you get out there and lay it on the line for everything that you believe in, and use music to bring it all together. Because when you step into a lot of these venues and you get into larger crowds and you're at that level, when you are done, the appreciation that is shown to you, post show, you touch people in so many ways you don't realize it. You take it for granted because you just play music for so long since you're a child.
Right.
And I guarantee, like me, like you've been singing since you were born. And that's just the way it is. So you take it for granted. And then when you perform and these people come to you and say, wow,
right,
I've never seen that done before. Or, I can't believe I heard that. I can't believe you played this song, and that's where you realize the impact that it really has on people, because music is so universal. And with you using that to relay your message, it's just phenomenal.
Thank you. Rhayne, tell everybody where, because we're going to have to wrap up. Tell everybody where they can find you.
They can find me on Instagram at prunes are sexy, all spelled out. They can find me on Facebook, Rhayne Thomas, RHAYNE Thomas. You can shoot me emails. People always do, at prunesaresexy@gmail.com. And you can send me a message from the website, which would be prunesaresexy.com.
Rhayne, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I was so excited to meet
Absolutely.
you.
We have to definitely schedule a part 2. We got more stuff to cover.
We have more stuff to cover, is right.
I haven't even touched on your glasses yet. So we have.
I have a couple of hundred pairs of glasses because
Wow.
October 15th, I will have been wearing glasses 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just going to nickname you Elton John Thomas.
I used to live next door to him in Atlanta.
Atlanta? No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Me too. Me too. I
From the
love
songwriting aspect to,
all of
his
it.
relationship with Bernie and the song, everything. Just
all of it. All of it. Him, Lawrence Welk, Liberace, all of it. Those are my
Yes.
feet.
Well, I thank you
Love
for
it.
being on the show today. And for all of our fans out there, we are funnyminds.com. And you will find us on Spotify and YouTube for video and all other platforms on audio. And if you go on funnyminds.com, you're going to see a big purple heart. And there's 2 organizations that we are very involved with, and that is Women's Breast Cancer and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So if you find it within your means to help out and push that button and send a donation to them, would be greatly appreciative. And for all of our fans out there, be healthy, be safe, be happy, non-judgmental, smile, and always remember to laugh. And with that, we say goodbye and good luck to you, Rhayne.
Rhayne, you are a rock star. I love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye for now.
We'll talk to you soon.